In this video, we're going to go through assignment 124C. On the screen here, I have a slide about function notation. Now I've given you three equations here, y equals 2x plus 1, y equals 4 to the x power plus 1, and y equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. And I say, these three equations are all functions, trust me. Now, I could just tell you their functions, right? But there's a better way for me to indicate that they're functions, and that's called function notations. So look down below here, and I've given you the same three equations again, but now they're in function notation. So f with the x parentheses equals 2x plus 1. We say that as f of x equals 2x plus 1. The second one is g of x equals 4 raised to the x power plus 1. And the third one is h to the h of x is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. So function notation does two things. It names the function. So if I say function f, you know which one I'm talking about. There were three there, right? If I say function f, you know I'm talking about y equals 2x plus 1. And by naming it with this notation, it's telling you it's a function. If I write f of x equals 2x plus 1, you don't have to trust me or anything. It's a function. I wouldn't write it like that if it wasn't a function. You may be asked to evaluate a function. And I'm going to show you what that means in our assignment today. So let me switch to our assignment. So in our assignment, you might be asked to evaluate like this. It says, given h of x equals 2x plus 5, find h of negative 6. So h of x equals 2x plus 5. Find h of negative 6. What this means is to go to the function that's been named h and input negative 6. That means change all the x's in the problem to negative 6. So let's do that. H of negative 6 is equal to 2 times negative 6 plus 5. H of negative 6 is equal to 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. So h of negative 6 is negative 7. That means when we input negative 6 into the h function, the output is negative 7. And because it's a function, you could input negative 6 over and over and over again, and the output will always be negative 7. That's the definition of a function. So let me put negative 7 here as an answer, just to prove to you it's right. Question 2, evaluate the function. So now they want us to do f of x equals 4x squared minus 10x plus 2. This is the same kind of problem, it's just a little more complex. There's two x's, right? So let's put in f of negative 7. So I'm going to get negative 7 squared minus 10 times negative 7 plus 2. Make sure you follow the order of operations here. Let's do the exponent first before we multiply. 7 squared is 49. Negative 7 squared is also 49. And 49 times 4 is 196. Negative 10 times negative 7 is plus 70 and plus 2. So f of negative 7 is equal to all this added up. 196 plus 72 is 268. So f of negative 7 equals 268. That's saying that when I input negative 7 into the f function, I get 268 as the output. All right, question 3. Given the functions f of x equals 4x to the fourth power and g of x equals 10 times 2 raised to the x power, which of the following statements is true? So it looks like in all the choices they want us to input 3 into both of these functions. They want us to input 3 into the f function and 3 into the g function. So let's put it into the f function. So 4 times 3 to the fourth. 3 to the fourth is 81. And 81 times 4 is 324. And if we put 3 into the g function, we're going to get 10 times 2 to the third. 2 to the third is 8, and 10 times 8 is 80. So g So, g of 3 is 80, and f of 3 is 324. So which choice is true? Well, f of 3 is greater than g of 3. All right, question number 4. The graph of y equals f of x is shown below. Determine the value of x when f of x equals negative 3. So they're telling us to look at this graph and find f of x equaling negative 3. Remember, this right here is the output, right? This is the final result. And they want to know what number did you need to input to get negative 3 as an output. Another way to write f of x, sometimes when you see people write f of x, you'll see them go like this. Y equals negative 3 instead of f of x equals negative 3. That's because f of x represents the output, and so does y, right? Both of those represent the output of a function. So really what we're doing here is we're looking for a y of negative 3. Which of these points shows us a y of negative 3? So I'm going to go to the y-axis. I'm going to go to negative 3, and I'm going to pick point C. And point C, the input would have been negative 6. All right, number 5, find the value of f of negative 5. In this problem, they're telling us the input, right? The input is the number that we put inside the parentheses, though, right? So they're telling us right here that that number in the parentheses is x. That's the number we're inputting. And they want to know the output. So the output when x is negative 5, when I go to x is negative 5, it looks like it's 1, 2, 3. It looks like the output is 3. The next question. The graph of y equals f of x is shown below. Find all values of x where f of x equals 4. They want us to find the output of 4. They want us to find when y is 4. And when it says find all values like that, that might be a sign that we're going to have more than one way to get 4 as an output. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, look at that. There's my y of 4. There's two ways, there's two x's I can input to get 4 as an output. I could do negative 1, right? Negative 1, if I put that, I would get 4 as an output. And negative 3, if I input negative 3, I would get 4 as an output. So I'm going to do this plus sign here, and I'm going to insert both answers there. We said negative 3 and negative 1. By the way, this is still a function. Number 1, they gave it to us in function notation. And number 2, it's okay that there's two inputs that make the same output. That's fine. What's not okay is if you have one input that makes two outputs. So both of these numbers resulting in a 4, that's a function, that's fine. In fact, you could have a function where every input ever outputs the same number, that's fine. Let's submit that. And then finally, the last question I'm going to go through with you today. The graph of y equals f of x is shown below. Find the value of f of negative 9. So they're saying the input is negative 9, right? They told us a number. There's supposed to be an x there, but they gave us a number. That means they want us to use negative 9 as x. So let's go to x, which is right there. Let's go to negative 9. And let's go down and find the output. The output right there is negative 9. All right, so that's all today. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.